Welcome to VGK Today, presented by MGM Rewards, a daily podcast bringing you an inside look at the Vegas Golden Knights' 2023 Stanley Cup playoff run. I'm Justin Russo with the Golden Knights on Tuesday, May 23rd, and tonight the VGK are in Dallas to battle the Stars in Game 3 of the Western Conference Final. Vegas holds a 2-0 series lead after scoring in overtime in each of the first two games from Vegas. Brett Howden was the hero in Game 1, while Chandler Stevenson took care of business in Game 2. Now the VGK get their first road test of this series in a raucous American Airlines Center in Dallas. But so far this postseason, the road has been kind to Vegas, who have a 4-1 record in games away from the Fortress. So let's see if that trend continues with a 3-0 series lead on the line in Game 3 tonight. More to come as we prepare for tonight's pivotal Game 3, but for now, I'll throw it over to Dan Duva, who's got a special report from Dallas.
This is Dallas. Oil, cotton, the Cowboys, AT&T, American Airlines, Reunion Tower, Dealey Plaza, SMU, H.L. Hunt, J.R. Ewing, and for the last 30 years, Dallas Stars hockey. Mike Modano, Sergei Zubov, Joe Nieuwendyk, Jamie Benn. The Lone Star State's lone NHL franchise arrived in 1993 from Minnesota, where the North Stars shot south. Playoffs 4 times in their first 5 years, and then in year 6, you guessed it.
Star! The Dallas Stars! Brett Hall! They've won the Stanley Cup! Deep in the heart of Texas, the Stars are shining!
1999 Stanley Cup champions. They've made it back twice since.
The New Jersey Devils have won the Stanley Cup! Jason Adams!
And lost both times.
And the Tampa Bay Lightning have won the Stanley Cup!
In between, they were co-stars to NHL history, hosts on October 6, 2017, the inaugural game for the NHL's 31st club, the Vegas Golden Knights.
From high above ringside at American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, it is indeed history today as the Golden Knights play their first regular season contest. The Stars players, prior to the national anthem in a moment of silence, skated from their own blue line, snaked behind the Vegas Golden Knights players, and stood immediately behind them. A touching moment here, as in Las Vegas, we continue to mourn those lost on Sunday. And so now, we'll pause for just a moment and enjoy some hockey. And as we get ready for hockey, let's tell you all about who will be in Golden Knights uniforms today. We'll read you down the full list of the 18 skaters and 2 goaltenders here for the Golden Knights and the Stars. Ready to go. Here's the drop of the puck underway. The Stars control from right to left. Feed into the slot, comes to the left wing and a shot. Save Fleury, rebound, another save Fleury. Leipzig on the right half wall. Now set up top by Smith. Miller fakes the shot, feeds left for Neal. He shoots off the pipe. No, it kicks out of play. And a shot tipped on goal. Save, rebound, sliding block, and then the loose puck covered by Fleury. Braden McNabb made the block. Fleury then covered to get the whistle. Thrown up top by Radulov. Klingberg hands left and a shot. Score! It was tipped in front, and the Stars take a 1-0 lead with a power play goal with 2:59 left in the second period. Back for Sagan. He winds, he waits, he looks, he shoots. Kicked out by Fleury. Out at the right point, Nate Schmidt, the lefty, shuffles toward the middle, drops it off for James Neal. He shoots, he scores! James Neal! It's a tie game! 9:33 to play in the third period. James Neal on a delayed penalty streaks from the Vegas bench from the far side to the right point. He came in down the right wing. The lefty fired from the top of the right circle. And there is the very first goal in Vegas history. James Neal. Golden Knights have possession again. Under 3 minutes to play in the third. Now down the middle. Here's a feedback to the right. Neal falling over. He scores! Wow! James Neal again! 2-1 Vegas. Bouncing puck loved in the neutral zone. Vegas to the offensive zone towards an open net. It's Lindbergh shooting. It's blocked. 9 seconds left. Stars still have the puck, and it's in play. Thrown up through the neutral zone. Cut off at center with 3 seconds. With 2. In comes Radulov at the horn. His shot is blocked. It looks like it's all over. The first game in Vegas history is a Golden Knights victory. James Neal scores the tying goal and the winning goal in the third period. Final score, Vegas 2, Dallas 1.
That was the first trip to Dallas for the Knights. Now up to 8 in all, 5 Vegas victories and just 1 regulation loss. 4 stars remain: Faksa, Benn, Lindell, Seguin. The Knights did face the Stars during the 2020 postseason, but the Edmonton Bubble played host for each of those contests. That makes tonight the first playoff game in Dallas for the Golden Knights. And now the question everyone wants to know: who stars in Dallas this time? With the Vegas Golden Knights, I'm Dan Duva.
Bravo, Dan. What a fun look at Dallas, the Stars, and the history between these two teams as Vegas is in the Lone Star State tonight for Game 3. That's quite a tough act to follow, I must say, and I don't think any stats or storylines can quite match that piece from Dan, so rather than listen to me fumble around for the next few moments, how about I rewind to when the VGK were still in Vegas yesterday and throw it over to Bruce Cassidy, who spoke on the position the Golden Knights are in right now with a 2-0 series lead.
But at the end of the day, now you're up 2-0, and it's still one game at a time. Our goal is to get 11 wins now, right, in the playoffs, and we're at 10. So let's focus on that going into Dallas. They got a really good home record. They're going to be, obviously, you're upset when you're that close and you don't win, so they're going to have a real sense of urgency going back there. So for us, it's one game at a time and get to our game in a hurry. I know it's cliche, but that's what it is this time of year. You got to get to your game and stay at it longer. So I think earlier in my career, I remember my first playoff series ever. I was in Washington. We were up 2-0 against Tampa, and we lost the next 4. So for me, I know how quickly it can change. And I'm sure these guys in the room have been through some of those types of experiences. So for me, we've won nothing. You know, we've got a 2-0 lead, but as you said, we're halfway there. That's it. So we know we have to be a lot better, because you need to get better throughout the series or you don't advance. And I said we weren't on top of our game in Game 2, but we were good enough to find a way to win. And that's been our team this year a little bit. We've been, I think I've used the word imperfect a lot, because we are, but we find ways to stay in the game and win. And that's a credit to the guys, and that's what I think has made us who we are this year.
In the words of Kobe Bryant, job not finished. That is the mentality that the Vegas Golden Knights are carrying into Game 3, despite having a 2-0 lead in this series, still wanting to be aggressive and getting after the Dallas Stars and getting to their game for as long as they can. And for the Golden Knights, as you heard Bruce also mention there, the hallmark of them this season is finding ways to win. They seem to do it at every opportunity, whether it's a 6-4 shootout or a 2-1 low-scoring affair or a couple of overtime games like we've seen in the first 2 games in this series. The VGK simply find ways to win. And the way they found a way to win in Game 2 started off with a late goal by Jonathan Marchessault with 2:22 to go in the third period that tied things up and set up Chandler Stevenson's overtime winner. Marchessault now with 6 goals and 6 assists in the postseason, as his game has slowly but surely ramped up with each series passing along. Mark Stone spoke yesterday about Jonathan's impact and the confidence that he and the team have in Jonathan to continue to produce at this high level.
Well, I mean, he just scores. He's scored goals his whole life. He scores goals in practice. He just scores goals. So, I don't know. It's just, I don't know if it matters when he scores them. Fortunately for us, he's scored at the most opportune time over the last week or so. If you give him a chance, we like our chances that he's going to put it in the back of the net, and he's done that over the last couple of weeks.
I think, and I might have to go back and listen one more time, but I think what Mark Stone was trying to say is that Jonathan Marchessault scores goals. A pretty fun, but not exactly wrong answer from Mark Stone there. Again, Marchessault, 6 goals, 6 assists in these playoffs. Big chunk of those goals came in Game 6 against the Edmonton Oilers, where he had a natural hat trick to help Vegas close out the Oilers in 6 games. The final player to speak yesterday was Ivan Barbashev, and as one of the 6 members of this VGK team who have previously won a Stanley Cup, he was asked how this team compares to his 2019 Blues team that secured the franchise's first ever Stanley Cup win.
It does, to be honest. I was actually thinking about yesterday after the game. I see a lot of similar things. But I think first of all, it's this team wants to win, and every night we play, there's always somebody else who's gonna step up. You've seen in these playoffs, especially going into overtimes, you had Mario score a goal, then Howard, and then Stevie. It's always somebody else who's gonna step up, and I think the way we've been playing, we're really trying to make it hard for the other team to play against us, and especially in our building. And this is something, I go back in 2019, and I'm kind of seeing the same thing.
So some comments from the Golden Knights ahead of Game 3, and an exclusive report from on the ground in Dallas from our very own Dan Duva. I'd say that makes for a pretty good episode of VGK today. Dan, of course, doing the heavy lifting on that one. But I digress. Again, we have Game 3 of the Western Conference Final tonight between the Golden Knights and Stars at 5 p.m. Pacific from Dallas. And even though the team is on the road, you can still get together and watch the game with some fellow medieval maniacs at the Lawn in downtown Summerlin. Game 3 watch party at the Lawn starts at 4 o'clock, puck drop at 5, and not only will you be able to watch the game, you also have a chance to get some cool prizes. Tickets to a home game and a signed William Karlsson stick will be given away at the watch party, again at the Lawn in downtown Summerlin. Food trucks and drinks will also be available for you. Come on down to the Lawn at downtown Summerlin, have a great time watching Game 3 and cheering on the Golden Knights as they look for a 3-0 series lead in the Western Conference Final. Before we head out, I'll remind you to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss a moment of the team's quest for the Stanley Cup right here on VGK Today. We'll see you tomorrow with a recap of Game 3 between the Golden Knights and the Stars. Justin Russo signing off for episode 37 of VGK Today, presented by MGM Rewards.